Morning everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke with Reverend Yutaki Yamada on this day, Wednesday 26th of May or the 15th of April in the 9th year of Chongalguk. Let's begin by offering a bow to our Heavenly Parents and True Parents. Chariot. Kyombe. Paru. And let's offer a family pledge both in Korean and English. Thank you.
가정 멘세 8. 전일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 전일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대 신앙, 절대 사랑, 절대 복종으로 신인의 일제 이상을 이루어 지산 천국과 전산 천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 8. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges, having entered the era of Chongalguk, to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation and complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. Thank you. I'd like to ask Mark Burfield if he could offer the opening prayer.
Please join me in prayer. Our dearest Heavenly Parent and beloved true parents, we greet you this new morning. We thank you that we can gather together as a community throughout Oceania. Together we are offering this time of devotion in this condition to connect our hearts and to connect with you and with our true parents, and to make a strong foundation to advance your providence here in Oceania. We recognise we live in a very precious time in history with our true parents, our true mother still alive on earth at the moment, and we want to really be united with her at this time as she leads the charge to bring about the establishment of substantial Chongalguk on this earth. And we're very grateful that we can live at this time and be part of this historical process and movement towards achieving this goal. We recognise we live in very troubled times, and there's a lot of things that are really disturbing and challenging. We're struggling against secular humanism, neo-Marxism, and all the things and many other internal and external challenges that we face throughout every day. So we pray that we can, as we learn more deeply about our true parents' life course, especially through our true mother's autobiography, we can really be fully equipped to take a responsibility and fulfill our responsibility and be united in heart with each other to fulfill this glorious mission. I report in the name of Mark and Masako Burfield of the Blessed Central Family. Adieu.
Adieu. Thank you. So let's offer a warm greetings to Reverend Yutaki Yamada this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, our brothers and sisters. Thank you for joining this morning from the K. Today is also a beautiful day. How was our weather? Is okay? Yesterday I had a meeting with the Asian leader. They said now every day is the 40 degree or 38 degree. They are so much hot, but Australia, New Zealand is now getting cold, right? I think Fiji or island nation is how hot? Every time 35, 40 degree or so?
Itaka-san, when there is winter in New Zealand and Australia,
yeah,
it starts getting cool in Fiji.
Ah, I see. Cool is how much degree?
Sometime like in June, sometime in the night time the weather is around 60. So we need blanket. So it's getting more cooler now in Fiji.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
In the summer, raining time.
Better weather.
Raining.
He's talking Fahrenheit, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yesterday Philippines was 40 degree. So anyway, each area we could see together all season is working together in the world level. So almost ending of May and June 5, there was a Christian clergy blessing, I think, in America, and Trimada is going to America also. So in the world level, also please pray for Trimada, and also there are many kind of providence in the world level. So put the heart together and pray Johnson. Okay. So yesterday we share about the story of Dr. Kaplan. So, and also I appreciate everyone to your input, your sharing. So even that moment, Soviet Union and communist world was developing. But what was father's decision and what was father's direction? Father said communism will perish and the Soviet Union will collapse. So father told to Dr. Kaplan, you have to proclaim this message in front of international professor and the leaders from the world. So accepting father's direction or not, this is not simple things because it might lose his fame, name in as the professor. That's why many times he asked to father and to mother, but to parents' main direction or message never changed. Then what was final decision? The conference title was The Fall of the Soviet Empire, Prospect for Transition of Post-Soviet World. So centering on this title, this conference was held. So how was this decision? Really simple decision or not? But because of this conference, after 6 years, Soviet Union was collapsed. So we can think also if this is also his choice. Of course, father and mother was central figure and to take responsibility, all providence. But at the moment, Dr. Kaplan was central figure. If he doesn't accept the father's direction, then what's happened? We can consider, we can see, or we can imagine another story. Maybe three parents carry on more bigger indemnity, or providence was postponed, or many kind of situation. But his case, he accept and he offer and unite and determine these things. So always ourselves, we can reflect our heart, our attitude, many weak part, many weak heart, weak mind is coming from in our heart. We can continue, we can compromise, we will give up, we will stop, or many kind of heart every time coming. That's why every moment is the battle and the front line in between God's side and Satan's side. So always our chansong, prayer, and the fundoke to connect with God, connect with our heavenly parents. This is really important things to protect ourselves and also develop ourselves to continue. So really through fundoke, through those person's story, we can learn good point and also lacking point and the learning point. So we have to think, well, what is really heaven's will and timetable, and also pray for the world providence and our pray for True Mother together. So let's continue today's contents also. Okay. Even during his underserved prison sentence, my husband greatly impressed other inmates with his exemplary demeanor and diligence. At first, the prisoners mocked him for being the founder of a strange new religion from the East and tried to pick quarrel with him. He handled it all with forbearance, warmth, and dignity. As he had told me, he was looking forward to seeing whom God had prepared for him to meet there. Prisoners naturally are struggling with anger, resentment, and selfishness, and he committed to make Danbury a place where love could flow. So when we read True Mother's speech the first day after True Father's Danbury imprisonment, we could see how True Father's appearance. Some prisoner, of course, support Father, maybe inside the prison, like I want to become the servant of Father. But of course, not everyone like this. That's why Mother said in the beginning, Father was facing difficulty. Sometimes they mocked him, and sometimes also try to quarrel with True Father. Because what kind of place in the prison? Maybe there is good person, bad person, but anyway, they had commit some sin or commit something. That's why people stay inside the prison. So we could imagine many kind of people is there. So Father were there and change the atmosphere or change the world inside of imprisonment where love could flow. So really, I think that moment, the person, the prisoner who are stayed together with True Father, they are really blessed. They are really, I think, great. Live together, eat together, and really see together with True Father. So when we read about True Mother's autobiography and to read this story, we could imagine and we could see True Mother was leading the providence outside the prison, and True Father really take a responsibility and fulfill his mission and his role and investment inside of prison in order to open the hell, liberate hell, and victory. So really when I read this part, I also mentioned last time, I can really imagine True Mother is leading the providence on the earth, but in the same time, how about our True Father? Surely True Father was investing and visiting the many places inside of the spiritual world, to going and spending time investing and working hard in the spiritual world together with heavenly parents, together with our ancestors, and investing in order to liberate spiritual world and also liberate in the earthly world. So we could see and we can pray for our True Father also in the spiritual world and our True Mother. Prisoners soon learned that Father Moon would spend his weekly stipend in the prison dispensary and through the week give everything away to lonely inmates. He held an early morning prayer service, and other prisoners gradually joined him. Some of the inmates came to consider my husband a true teacher. Some called him the saint of the prison. So Father, even inside the prison, Father always gave the things to the prisoner. Whatever he have, always share, and he organized the prayer meeting in the prison. Then people said to him, called him the saint of the prison. So people is the spiritual being. Even the person looks like doing good things, and even the person is talking good things or good way, but if the person's nature is not righteous, the person's nature is not correct, people could feel and people could recognize. So how about that place? That place is inside of prison. If the Father showing to the people and inside of his nature is different, and how people will feel. Of course, Father is showing always as the Messiah, is really going to the model and showing the way everything, but people will feel that truth and really that nature inside of that person. So maybe many people could had Father organize many speech, big rally, and he is the people who established a new religion from the East. They had many kind of story, but important things is not only just a story or rumor or news. Important things for the prisoner inside of prison, the things which they saw. This is only reality for those person. Then what was prisoners' expression? They were so touched, they were so moved about their Father, and they call him as the Father and Saint and follow them. That's why really in the daily life, Father himself really show his life, sincere life and sincere heart to the people. So this is a photo you could see. This is the Danbury prison. Father was so young. And the true Father sends a letter from prison and a book, God's warning to the world, to 300,000 American clergy. Have you read this book? So this is really Father deliver. Maybe some of you were the one who delivered this book directly. And exemplary prison life. So this is the cross which true Father weared. And also true Mother, by becoming one with true Father, victoriously overcame the indemnity restoration course on the worldwide level. So true Mother always called with to true Father, and this is also true Father. On June 26, 1984, he had testified as to his innocence at a hearing of the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committees submitting on the Constitution. So those things the parents also did. Okay. Guards and prison officials were also impressed. The New York Post published a cartoon at the time of Father Moon's release, August 20, 1985. It depicted all the prisoners bowing to Father Moon, and one prison official saying to another, "Get him out of here before he calls a mass wedding." My husband and I chuckled over that. So this is really story inside of prison. When Father Moon will release from the prison, everyone gather together and bow to true Father. So we can imagine how they respect Father, how they love true Father. Even prison and guard officials were also impressed, and this is things, get him out of there before he calls a mass wedding. So Father Moon surely soon he will organize the mass wedding in the American society. So please let him go and to organize this marriage blessing in the America and the world. So how much they really love Father, and really how much touch with Father, we could really can imagine that. As his wife and the mother of our children, my husband's imprisonment was my imprisonment. The Danbury cause parallels Jesus' trial in front of the Roman procurator Pilato and the punishment of his crucifixion. The forces that wanted Father Moon to disappear were always looking for an opportunity. So this is also the mother's heart and deep sharing. My husband's imprisonment was my imprisonment. So how much mother heart? Of course, mother trusts him. And some people also together with their father, but always father was attacked from terrorist or spy in the society that moment. So inside the prison, how much mother was worried because Dr. Park was also kidnapping, many situation was happen and dangerous situation was happen in the movement. So mother was really worried at time. The American FBI apparently led army operatives in the United States who had been sent by the Soviet KGB and North Korea's Kim Il-sung to assassinate my husband. Among the prison inmates were men who harbored the same irrational hatred as those who had kidnapped Dr. Park. My husband was living with such men, and no one could guarantee his safety. It was a modern version of Golgotha, as if he were on the cross with thieves to the left and right. So this is the reality, and this is the situation. If FBI could not get the information, and if FBI could not catch the Red Army operatives, then also what's happened in the movement, also inside of the prison. So always father and mother and all leaders and Breast family actually fighting and living inside of that danger. I don't know how much you could feel this kind of dangerous situation in America that time, but maybe member, leader, or father and mother, each area is different, but this is one kind of the reality. FBI really directly catch them, could catch that Red Army operative who tried to kill your father. So how much those pressure was heavy to mother. So this is the photo. Very victory of Danbury and the Moscow rally. So you could see this photo, the person, he is the person. Declaration of the End of Communism by Dr. Moulton Kaplan. So he carried on the direction of your father and he fulfilled that things. So left photo is talking about the first American Christian ministers conference on unificationism. Around 7,000 people were educated in Korea. So this is a Christian clergy or Christian minister. Their parents invited them to America and to educate about divine principle. So 7,000 people were educated in Korea. So this education providence is also really big. So we could see one by one. 1981 expected Moscow meeting turned down U.S. litigation issue. So actually after Yankee Stadium, after American conference, what was the next target? Is going to Moscow rally, center of communist and center of Soviet Union. This is the Moscow rally. So 1985, the March on Moscow. In the United States, the work of the International Federation for Victory Over Communism is undertaken by CAUSA. The movement to enlist 10 million CAUSA supporters began on September 1, 1986. Establishment of 3 groups to overcome communism: the American Leadership Conference, the American Constitution Committee, the American Freedom Coalition. 3 parents established and actively supported various media outlets. From 1982 to 1989, World Media Association was established. And in 1988, there was a World Media Conference in Washington, D.C., which 2 representatives of the Soviet authorities attended. In 1989, 12 people attended. In April 8 to 13, we had the 11th World Media Conference and first Summit Council for World Peace, the Moscow Rally and Moscow USSR. So this time period target how to educate the people and inspire. So these things. A Moscow Rally is not 1985, 1990. So this one, many things is organized. And especially you could see how many people they educated. 10 million Causa supporters. Oh, that is really bigger number. Oh, so many people received education at the moment in America. So that's why America have really actually foundation. I don't know how many people are really connected now and involvement now, but already 1980, those education, those missionary came to America continuously to educate the people, because changing America, educating America is really to changing the communist world and changing the world itself. So those time period, their investment and what was the next target is going to Moscow. So America as the elder son nation, the restoration of the authority of the elder son. So we could see this photo, restoration of the elder son nation on the worldwide level, the collapse of the Soviet Union. So three parents private meeting with President Mikhail Gorbachev, the Kremlin Palace, Moscow, July 1 and August 19, 1990. 380 Soviet university students visited the Unification Theological Seminary and attended the International Leadership Conference. So those students came to America and joined this International Leadership Conference in America at that time, 1990. Then in January and February 1991, 700 students attended seminars in 3 locations in Hungary also. And from January 26 to February 9, 1992, 27 seminars were held in 18 locations in the Crimean region of Ukraine for 3,160 students. In July and August 1991, CAP hosted 24 seminars in 4 locations in the Baltics, attended by 2,000 university students. In various other areas, around 25,271 people received education. So after meeting with Mikhail Gorbachev, then talk with him. I will educate your student. I will educate your youth. That's why father invited them, and also Soviet Union, he sent the student to father. That's why they could receive education, and they are the one who are standing the main person in the Soviet Union province. So we could imagine, I'm not sure, maybe some of you are educating them or working together with them. So Soviet Union and America, actually they are almost fighting, but in behind of that, under all environment, father was connected both nations inside of America, inside of Soviet Union, and educating the people and guiding the people. And restoration of elder sons, bright light meeting with President Kim Il-sung. This is also a meeting with Kim Il-sung. Those story will come later in the mother's autobiography again, but just share shortly. December 6, 1992, Renchon meeting with President Kim Il-sung. Majon, South Hamhun province near Funnam, North Korea, on April 10, 1992, the Women's Federation for World Peace was established. On August 24, 1992, at the celebration banquet on the first World Culture and Sport Festival, Father officially declared in front of the assembled world leaders that he and his wife, Dr. Hak Chan-boon, and I together are the true parents of humanity, the Savior, the Lord of the Second Advent, and the Messiah. Until 1995, era to restore true parentism through the restoration of the elder son's bright light with President Kim Il-sung. True parentism was restored. So this is kind of the providential history. Not only just fighting communist or embrace communist or educating America, all the providence is the process of the restoration to restore the elder sonship and restore the elder son's bright light. So meeting with Mikhail Gorbachev, meeting with Kim Il-sung, actually they are the one who tried to kill, tried to stop their father, but father go there, embrace them, and liberate them. That's why father could proclaim, based on the foundation to restore the elder sonship, true parents could proclaim as the true parents of the human beings. So before that, true parents could not emphasize or proclaim so much about Messiah and also true parents in the world level. But 1992, this Women's Federation, the establishment that time, right? True father stand there and true mother stand as the John the Baptist figure, kind of the testify to father. So true father and true mother could stand as the true parents and proclaim in front of the people. So we could see the all providence. That's why this America, the responsibility was important. So the meaning of America's providence, center of world mission activity, interreligious dialogue movement, the fall of communism, true family movements, and the peace movement, restoring the light of the elder son, the substantial path of restoring the realm of siblings. So how much important the American providence during that time. So father went to 1970, totally he invested for America. So how was American providence was success? So because of true parents' investment guiding, America showed a model, and America should have been leading the past, and also they should lead now, and also they should lead the future. So America now also reviving, guiding people and showing the model. So our all brothers and sisters, we are not in America, but how true parents invest America, we could see that. And those expectation in the heart is also not only American brothers and sisters or American nation, showing model to the parents, always find the model case and to expand to another nation or another providence. So through learning the providence, we also can inherit and can share together. So today I share about almost ending part of the Danbury imprisonment of true father and true mother, honest sharing how was the relationship and what kind of things was happened in America. And based on Victoria's Foundation of America, this one is targeting to the next, go to the Moscow, Communist Soviet Union, and so North Korea, and going to the next stage. So today we are sharing about those messages. So even reading kind of the, if we learn the history, kind of the history class, so sometimes history and also our life, difficult to connect, but how we can find the heart behind of those story is also important. So today is also a new day. We will start the great moment. So our brothers and sisters, let's put our heart and share our blessing, and let's offer the victory to our heavenly parents and true parents. Thank you for joining today. Have a good day. 감사합니다.
Thank you very much, Reverend Yutaka, as always. Yeah, really bringing out a lot of insight and information. Thank you, everyone. And it's, I think today we can go into our breakout rooms. It's been a while since we went into the breakout session, so I'll share the screen. Create the rooms and we can join the rooms. Just give me a second. Create. Okay, so just respond to the join and click the button and enter the room.
Bow down, Father. Yeah, yeah. Reverend Yutaka said this morning that everyone bowed down to Father, but actually it was a cartoon. Yeah. In the New York Post. I found it on the internet as he was talking. Yeah. And wow. Yeah, it wasn't that everyone did it, but I think that yeah, maybe, I mean, I think people did respect Father. That's why they put the cartoon in, you know, because that happened. They didn't bow down, that's all. No,
it was a joke, and he said that, you know, the joke was, oh, better worry because he's going to do a mass wedding, but it's inferring to within the prison, not to all of America.
That's right. Yeah.
I think you missed the joke.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. There was another cartoon that came out, I remember, and they were at a toll gate, you know, like going over the Harbour Bridge, and you paid your toll at the end. And then they were in a car, and one person said to the other, how do you know, he said to the toll guy, the guy who was collecting the money, he said, how do you know, how do I know you're not a Moonie?
Oh. Around that time, I was in the UK, I think, at some stage, and the Hallmark card shop had a card saying, it's a birthday card. Sorry, I could not give a present because, and then when you open, there are lots of multiple choice answers. And one of the answers was, I gave all my money to the Moonies. And another time, watching the bill, I don't know if you know that it's a police TV show that went on for years. Mm-hmm. And the two policemen in the car, and Reg, the guy Reg, the constable, was speaking very deeply about something, and the other guy turned to him and said, what happened to you? Have you joined the Moonies? That's so interesting how popular. Anyway.
Yeah, that just, it was in that era, everyone knew. It was on jokes and topics of discussion, and then we went into this period of very quiet, and now we have to regain that presence so that people know about it. I mean, even that time there was references to us in different movies and songs. People wrote movies and songs and so many things, and I'd like to see that, that people just, it'd be good to catch a train and hear people discuss, or did you hear that rally of hope, or did you hear, I don't know if they'd call her Mother Moon, but hear a mother's message or something. It'd be really good, that it becomes a public conversation. That's what I'd like to see happen again here.
Yeah. Well, one thing I was thinking about yesterday was that when they had that conference and Father got Morton Kaplan to declare the end of communism because it was 70 years, that it's actually 70 years since 1952, with the Korean War. So it's 70 years since Korea's been divided, isn't it? So Mother's proclaiming, just like Father, Mother is proclaiming the end of the division between North and South Korea at 70 years. It's time, right? Because actually, just like Jesus followed Jacob's course, and Father followed the courses before. Do you know what I mean? Like Father followed mother's following father, right? I would think. I don't know, but anyway, it just seemed interesting. 70 years.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's definitely a providential significance that it is. It's like really that's the end of evil influence. It just can't go past 70 because you can't enter into the third stage, the stage of completion, because it represents formation, growth, and so I think it's very significant, and even more so because it is unusual for mother or father to make that sort of a prediction, and so mother very confident that it'll change, and the election in South Korea is happening, in that year, and the more I find out about the elections in Korea, it's really a dramatic change. When they have an election, the whole system changes, and people find themselves in prison. The last two prime ministers of South Korea are in prison because of corruption charges. So it's like a massive clean out and change. And this current government is not interested in South Korea is not interested in reunification. North Korea is, but the South are a different attitude. But if there will be a new government, then it will change, and that new government is probably a lot more aligned already with mother. So when they change, they're ready to make that reunification happen. So I think a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that we don't really fully understand are all going to fall into place, and we'll see a change.
Yeah, and just like at that time, it was kind of like unbelievable or kind of totally incredible that Father would be thinking about end of communism.
That might be straightening. Who's this happening?
Yeah, just at that time, we would never have thought that communism would end. But it's the same here. It's like hard to imagine that North and South Korea could be unified.
I think it might be Robert or Rowers. Yeah, maybe that's better.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same. It's like it's kind of hard to imagine that North and South Korea would be unified. But, yeah. Yeah.
It is hard to imagine.
I don't think I'll say it again. I think something's happening.
That's Robert and Roa. Your thing is scratching. Maybe you can mute yourself.
Yeah. It was hard to imagine that Germany would, that the world would collapse and unite.
Yeah.
It was hard to imagine, but after the CARP rally that was led by Hyojin, very soon after, the world did collapse. It was like a dream. It was just like a dream. So why not North and South Korea?
Yeah.
It's just like a dream, but yeah.
I don't know why it's like this.
It's gonna moving.
What?
Beside there.
Yeah. We can hear you, Robert and Roa, and your sound is very, very scratchy.
Yeah, it's the connection, the plug maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert, if you put yourself on mute unless you're talking, that can help.
Yeah, I couldn't move. Also, the mouse couldn't move. Sorry.
That's why I can't mute. I'm actually trying to mute you on this side, but it won't let me mute you. So I find it interesting. But yeah, I found it the same. that when the Berlin Wall collapsed, that it happened so quickly. You know, I was, you know, just astounded. Wow, it happened. It's parallels the same sort of feeling, but from a different point of view when the Twin Towers collapsed.
I'll just move first.
You're right. It's sort of paralleled that experience I had in awe and surprise that you know, the Berlin Wall came down. I was thinking, wow, and just, you know, it's just totally opened up, and then when I saw that first building collapse of the Twin Towers, I was the same feeling of, wow, how that's like crazy. How could that happen? But they all happened in a moment. So yeah, I really, you know, believe that the Korean unity will happen in such a surprising moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting that I was thinking the other day that God, we can't imagine things, but God does things, or things happen like amazing that can change things completely. Like, who'd have thought that COVID could happen and change the world so much? You know what I mean? Who'd have thought that, you know, and then everything goes online and, you know, people connect. Like now we're having Hudukai in the morning, and like we can connect in our region. Like it's just, yeah, just amazing that how things can work. Yeah, that we can't even imagine that, and you know, something will happen. Yeah, God's got a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'd be great to be able to tap into God's mind sometimes to see what is the potential that's coming next that we have no idea what it is now.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if Robert's going to come back.
Yeah. He's in the dining room, or he's in the.
No, I think he's in his room upstairs. Yeah.
No, that's a good connection there.
Yeah. But anyway, that's okay.
Can I ask Reverend John if what do you see as the happening in North Korea that they wanted?
Why they want it?
Yeah.
They've actually wanted it from the very, very, very beginning. That's why they
on their terms, right?
Yeah, on their terms,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, because right from the very beginning, that they invaded the South, they wanted to take over, and they actually got as far down as, you know, Busan before the forces pushed them back. So they always wanted it, but now there seems like they're wanting it as a welcome back. It seems like North Korea are generally wanting peace because they need the economic support. And that's the thing that South Korea current government doesn't want to give, because it feels like it's, you know, like the initial East-West Berlin situation. You know, West had to really support and prop up the East for I think a couple of years or more before it balanced and stabilized. And basically North Korea is desperate. It needs you know, to, you know, feed its people. I mean, it's still, you know, it's because it feels threatened. It would be pretty dramatic if America removed or its military aggression towards North Korea, because they're doing it as a response. Korea's putting more, so because it feels threatened by the West, and the West feels threatened by them. So there's a stalemate there. So I think if they don't talk about denuclearization at the moment, but just focus on humanitarian aid, I think there might be a possibility for Korea to feel that it can, that North can trust the South. At the moment, they don't feel that, but they want it because they need the support. So yeah, I'm not. Your mother was invited to go to North Korea, so that's happening, you know, sometime this year or early next year, and so that there's and that many of the major holy days, they still get the gift from North Korea, and people go backwards and forwards, and so there's like a whole bunch of Japanese, I understand, in hotels there that are helping in the hospitality industry. There's and very much our movement is respected because we're actually helping North Korea build itself up. So I think, yeah, there can be a lot of dramatic change. Yeah, I'm going to click the button. 60 seconds.
The main thing would be the ideology that I suppose that's why Mother is so strong, you know, really pushing about Korea, because South Korea really needs to be armed with divine principle, with God's ideology. Otherwise, it's
it has to counter it has to counter the Korean system. Yeah, which that's right.
Crucial moment now, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So okay. That's why there's this Causa 2 that's being developed and polished up, and hopefully it makes the right impact at the right time.
Yeah, critical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, pray for that.
So it's about to close in 4, 3, 2, 1, and bingo. It's interesting that now pops up. Welcome back, everybody. So I hope you had a good breakout session and were able to express yourselves. So it's time to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just share the screen. And okay, let's begin. Adieu, adieu, adieu. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye,
Have
Uncle
a
John.
great day.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye. 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 Bye everyone. God bless. Bye Miwa.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.
See you, Iris.
Bye, Douglas.
Bye.